Vegas at the Palms Resort and Casino. This is the Riot Games World Invitational. And now, please welcome your shoutcasters, Rivington Bislin III and David Freak Turley.
Hi everyone, and welcome to the first ever Riot Games Invitational. I'm Rivington Bislin III, and with me as always is David Freak Turley.
Thanks, Riv. We've taken over the beautiful Rain nightclub inside the Palms Resort in Las Vegas, Nevada. And we are here to bring you an event that is extremely awesome.
That's right. Today, a team of elite rioters will be taking on a hand-selected team of some of the world's very best League of Legends players to see who comes out on top. Tonight's friendly matchup will consist of 2 rounds of 5-on-5 gameplay, with the winners claiming bragging rights as the champions of our first ever World Invitational.
And not to mention an all expenses paid weekend getaway in Las Vegas. Now what is that like, guys?
All right, without further delay, it's time to meet our pro players.
Tonight, for the first time ever, 5 world champions from the 4 corners of the globe have come to Las Vegas to challenge the top 5 players from the company that created the League of Legends universe, Riot Games. Leading off, he's a former member of CLG and currently playing support for Curse Gaming. It's Elementz. Next, leading one of China's best League of Legends teams and the winners of IEM Guangzhou, the anchor of World Elite, Misaya. Traveling halfway across the globe to smash Riot's best from the newly formed League of Legends team Taipei Assassins, this is Mistake. Next, he's one of the most dominant junglers in Europe, a top competitor and member of CLG EU. From Scotland, it's Snoopeh. And finally, from Korea, one of the founding members of the legendary team known as EDG, now called Najin Empire, it's MakNooN.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it one more time for the World Team! Challenging the World Team tonight, let's meet the team from Riot Games.
And first up, playing AD Carry, a former pro gamer and tournament winner who now brings his talents to the Riot Games live design team. Give it up for Classic!
Next, another professional player from Team Dignitas. Prowling in the jungle, it's the one and only Jack.
Bringing up the middle, the founder of popular fan site Runeterra, now a QA analyst and the reigning top ELO player at Riot Games, it's Roku.
Next up, an assistant game designer and a top 10 player in the League of Legends beta, playing support for Team Riot tonight, it's Static.
And finally, with more champions played in ranked Season 2 competition than anyone else on the roster, probably the most versatile member of the 5, give it up for Riot's top lane, Milk Cow!
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Team Riot. Gentlemen, please take your seats. Freak, we are going to have an amazing matchup tonight. top players from all around the globe here pitted against Riot's best in a friendly exhibition. Now into Champion Select. Let's see what these players know about each other.
All right, so first things first, blue team, first pick, first ban is going to the world team. They're captained here by MakNooN. He will be handling the banning phase. For those who don't know, the bans, what happens here is you can basically evict champions from the roster. You can make sure that neither team can play certain champions here. You can see what MakNooN has done so far. Has banned out Alistair, a popular support or jungle pick that can be picked by either of these teams here. Meanwhile, Twisted Fate has been banned out by Team Riot. And in talking to them behind the stage before this game, I was saying, do you have any bans you're sort of looking for in this game? All I said was, it's just Twisted Fate. It's just that TF, that's all we want to get rid of. Everything else we're okay with.
Yeah, they don't want to see that half global ultimate. TF, very versatile around the map, can really stop a lot of kills that are going to get away. He's the one that picks that up, and it's a very advantageous thing on your team, have on your team, that passive extra gold helping everybody on the team. They want none of that in the game. We have Udyr as well being banned out. That innovative Udyr brought out by Jat on the Team Riot is not going to be playable in this first game, possibly the second, but right now we're also seeing Trundle being banned out as well, a favorite of Jat also.
Yes, they've actually target banned Jat with all three of their bans so far. Yes, you can play support Alistair as well, but typically a great jungler. Olaf and Dr. Mundo, the final two bans here from Team Riot, and the insta-lock rise coming in from MakNooN. Now the solo mid player is going to be Misaya here for the world team. And he's going to be bringing up that rise. A mage deals a whole heck of a lot of damage and is quite durable to boot with that. We're now seeing Team Riot pick their own champions. Right now, it looks like they might be looking at Nocturne, another great jungler. So even with 3 target bans aimed at Jat, he's still going to pick something he's comfortable with.
Yeah, they're definitely going to look at Jat on Nocturne because of that Twisted Fate being banned. They still give themselves that distance on the map to initiate fights, which is very awesome for them. We do see Janna being picked up, a very safe support pick. Jat is going to be able to trade that off and on to somebody else that wants to use Janna, and that's a very versatile thing to have on your team, is being able to pick and choose accordingly to make the other team have to pick and choose maybe something they don't want.
And it's actually very interesting. This is the first time I've seen Team Riot not ban out Janna and actually pick it themselves. In talking to Classic, he was saying that Janna's kind of a ticking time bomb. She's the best late game support. And if you pick an aggressive lane, you know, someone like maybe Leona, he's saying it's just a matter of time until you lose, because you get to the late stage of the game and Janna's going to cause you to win some stuff. They've grabbed that Janna Graves bottom lane. It's very, very aggressive, has a lot of damage, and it scales excellently throughout the game. So it's like Rise, where you pick it up, it's a strong choice, and it functions very well throughout the game. They've picked that for their own bottom lane.
And no, this is a really awesome team for the world team right now. They have so much defensive build. Maokai in the jungle, very tanky early game as well, but easily countered, so we may see that from Team Riot. Rise, building that synergy of mana as well, and the Frozen Heart item in his regular build makes him tanky as well. So they have that front line for Vayne to sit behind already, and there's still a lot of damage within those 3 picks.
Yeah, they've absolutely got some great choices so far. You're seeing Nocturne once again under consideration for Team Riot. I still would not be surprised to see that one be the pick here. But I do really like the team fight ability here from the world team. Rise is going to get tanky over time. You've got that Maokai ultimate making his entire team very durable. And you've got this Vayne here who's going to scale so well throughout the game and is very, very slippery. And there we do have these final 2 picks coming in from Team Riot. They have grabbed that Nocturne jungle. They've grabbed Ahri for the mid lane. And we're back over to the world team's picks.
Yeah, and we do see that Jat picked up that Janna, as we said before, scaling very well into late game. A really safe pick to have, and that's going to be static taking Nocturne for Jat. So we are going to see Nocturne in the jungle, unless another pick comes out here. That's usually where we will see that champion. We do see a Nasus not locked in on the world team, and we're going to have to see what they decide to do with that. Now, with the bans out, we have seen that a few are focused, that Alistair going out. We saw Jat taking that earlier in some games that they were playing. Olaf has been newly used by Snoopeh, so they want that out of the jungle as well.
Oh, and some excellent 2 picks coming out here. They've got Nasus coming up for the top lane, and that is one of those ticking time bombs. Every time he last hits a minion with his siphoning strike ability, it grows stronger for the next time. And you can see this spell dealing 1,000 damage in very, very late stages, and that is a very ludicrously high number. It's a lot of damage. Meanwhile, we've seen Elementz now pick up Blitzcrank as his probably support choice, and that is another exceptionally strong champion and a great initiator and can make some great things happen. Finally, the top laner choice that we might see here from Milk Cow, that top laner from Team Riot, it might be Lee Sin, and that is going to be a very aggressive laner. Should have a pretty good time against this Nasus choice, and I can see that working very well for him.
Yeah, Lee Sin has enough fast attacks that he can pretty much get in on Nasus and do a bit of damage before Withered, get out with Safeguard, and win that trade and damage. And he also had Kennen, but he's going to keep that lane to an energy-based lane, so he can always stay aggressive.
Yeah, it's actually something that's really good here for Team Riot, is their top laner does not need any kind of mana. His regeneration is great. Their mid laner Ahri does function great off the Golem buff, and they've picked a jungler on Nocturne who doesn't need Golem buff, so they can constantly donate that over and over and over again and give that buff to their Ahri, to their mid lane mage. However, from the world team, Maokai can handle it without the Golem buff, but he does really want some mana regeneration. So you can see that be a bit of a decision point. You know, again, he could do okay without it, but he's actually going to hurt for losing that buff and giving it away to Ryze in the mid lane. So you might see that being a bit of an advantage here for Jat, and that he's going to be able to have a better late game jungle.
Now, as we look at these team compositions overall, you see Team Lockdown from the world team, a Blitzcrank, a Ryze, a Maokai, and Nasus to wither you down and start that initiation. From Twisted Advance from Maokai into the Rune Prison, Vayne can knock you around as well as Blitzcrank silences your whole team. You do not want to get caught up in that combination.
No, you really, really don't. But the good thing here for Team Riot is they have great counter initiation. They can toss out the smoke bomb from Graves. They can use Charm or the ultimate escapes from Ahri. They also have Janna and Lee Sin, two champions whose ultimates knock back enemy champions. If either one of them gets caught, they can blow back the roster, or if a teammate gets caught, they can still walk up into range and then again knock away these enemy champions and kind of reset the fight. And when you look at the lineup from the world team, they don't have great initiation that doesn't require kind of sticking their neck out. So, you know, Blitzcrank, of course, he has the pulls from out of range, and that's fine. But Maokai has to get into melee range in order to enable that fight. And if Lee Sin can kick away their next in and leave Maokai stuck in the front, that's a really good start for them.
Yeah, that would be a very good one. And here we are into the game, ladies and gentlemen. In our first match, if you would like to see the world team take this one home and bring it into a nail-biting second match, let's hear it for world team.
But if you're like me and you like purple, if you want to see Team Riot come through and take over game one, let me hear you guys in the audience. This crowd, being mostly Rioters, not biased at all.
All right, so a little bit of movement here coming out of Team Riot. They've done things similar in their practice matches, power in numbers early in the game, but as we said, look at this team of world team. So many early level 1 stuns, all that crowd control wrapped up into so many level 1 abilities with the power of some good champions. You have Vayne and Ryze, and it looks like they may get close on this one. We are going to see Roku and Jat take the safe route.
Oh, that's good. They know they could have been invaded, and they went all the way around to make sure they did not get caught. You're now seeing retreat pings come out, and oh, interesting. The world team are actually already setting up saplings, and they're going to have Snoopeh actually steal away the Wraith camp as part of his initial jungle. I like that. It's a really cool move, and we'll see if that pans out for them. The whole team is still there ready to defend. And meanwhile, you can see on the right-hand side, the Riot team are still going to do a sort of normal jungle pattern. Jat's going to open up here and take down these wolves for himself and get a nice opening bit of golden experience for himself, and then move on to his own golem buff.
Yeah, they're going to quickly clear these out and help each other, stealing the red now. World team trying to do as much as they can to deny the resources for Jat in the jungle. We're going to see the hit up here, I believe, by Elementz, and it's going to be MakNooN's up top. A very good steal here. Now, this allows Riot team to somewhat start to level in their lanes, gain experience, and have a little bit of an upper hand. Top lane, Milk Cow may have a bit of an advantage as Nasus gets the lane, but if he has that red buff, it could go very poorly for Milk Cow really early.
Yeah, there's one thing that works great, though, is you can see that Maokai, because he stole the Wraiths, had to take a very long route to his own Golem, and that's allowed Jat to come in here and go for the steal on the World Team's Lizard Camp. So even those cute moves from the World Team that got them 2 buffs early on, but Jat's going to equalize that, and that is some great game knowledge to know what was happening and know he could make this stab. He's even saved his smite cooldown from the earlier Golem camp, so he can now force this to reset, let them tick down with the Lizard buff, and he's actually going to come back for the kills real quick. There we go, level 3, but he's going to find Elementz, jumping in on this one, and he's a little bit afraid of Blitzcrank.
Elementz says no go, and also Misaya in middle stays to just go back and forth with Roku. We can see Misaya very high up. It's going to be a 2v1 here. The terror is down. The fear happens, but it is under the turret. The flash has been expended in middle. Misaya must now play careful.
Yeah, he's got to play very defensively. Snoopeh actually waiting around in the mid lane, could counter gank onto Ahri. Meanwhile, Jack going for his own raise. We see Snoopeh getting ready for something interesting. The ping is off. They do know Roku's there. Here comes the Rune Prison, and he's going in for the cleanse early on. He's going to let him get away from that. It saves his flash, and I like that move. He knows he's against a crazy aggressive, many roots in that lane, and so he takes cleanse for a summoner spell to break out of those engagements.
It looks like they're just milling about up top. Jat still waiting in the wing, trying to make something happen. The gold even now, only 4 minutes into the game. A little bit of aggression from both teams here. The junglers have invaded. They have backed off. Everybody's pretty much resetting here. The junglers will be apparent in just a few more minutes as they do have to return to the jungle, gather up the creeps, and get back to the lanes to help. We do have a ping in middle. Maokai coming up from the backside. Roku does not have cleanse. They do get the Rune Prison on. Roku taking a lot of damage. 3, and the tick from Ignite. Roku stays alive, and he does not go down. Another attack on bottom lane pulled out. We do see Classic taking quite a bit of damage. And it looks like they are both going to back out of this one safely. The first kill almost coming up there 4 minutes into the game.
That was ludicrously close. The early game came in from Chat, but the counter ganks 2 in a row from Snoopeh on that Maokai managed to make that quite the excellent lane there. And you can actually see, again, some aggression coming in this top lane. Though the early lizard buff from MakNooN has made him a very threatening force to be reckoned with. Although he's actually out of health potions now. But Snoopeh coming around to focus down on Milkow. This is not looking good for him. Trying to run into the brush, the flash is not going to be good enough. And there is first blood picked up by Maokai. The world team picking up the first kill of this game and have already rocketed to a 1,000 gold lead so far in this match.
Yo, very nice job keeping himself apparent in every lane. Maokai going from mid to top, not focusing bottom yet. The wards are out, so we're going to see the junglers' primary focus mid to top. Mistake taking quite a bit of damage. That was not a Zephyr, and they are going to turn on Classic here for the damage. Mistake feeling comfortable, and he is going to continue to do some damage. Very low, though. We see Roku coming in from the left side. Will he be able to get it? He does not have an ultimate. Foxfire goes out. The Power Fist will slow him. Gets the charm onto Elementz. Elementz flashing away. The terror is on. Will they be able to get the grab? Pulls him into the turret, and they find the kill and the trade-off. 1 for 1 in the bottom lane as Cat goes down and Elementz as well.
Yeah, an excellent job there by Elementz to survive that fight just long enough. His Ignite ticked down that last little bit of damage and that kill onto Nocturne. So excellent job by Elementz on Blitzcrank. Snoopeh warding the Team Riot's blue buff. That has been spotted. Roku does know that was there, so they know they could go for a stab later on in this game. But just for now, that ward coverage, very, very good from the world team so far.
Looks like MakNooN returning to lane. Quite happy with that last kill. Got himself some armor and some more health potions as well. He's going to be able to fend off against Milkow now with those withers. Milkow almost doing no damage. You can see the trade going in favor of MakNooN, and as that happens time after time, Milkow is forced to farm at his turret.
And he's going to do the best he can to last hit these minions down. You can see the bottom lane coming back as Elementz. He's got a nice number of items here, some more wards. That extra kill, of course, helping him quite a bit, and he's actually aggressively warded this brush here, and he's actually able to see that slight ward that Team Riot has put down, so Elementz can sweep that when he gets a chance, and they can use that kind of vision advantage to set up some more ganks and get some kills.
We do see Snoopeh milling around the dragon area. Jack coming down towards mid as he cycles from top to bottom jungle. And we do have MakNooN coming down. He did use teleport. They're going to go for a very fast dragon here. 7 minutes into the game, Jack's Spidey Sense is going off, and he's going to try to get in on this one. Could he get the steal down? Both do have Smite up. He pulls them away. 3v1 situation as we do find Roku coming in to help him out a little bit. 3v2 now, Roku ticking away. Roku falls, and Jack is now forced out of that. Low mana and low health may not allow them to do this, as there is somewhat of a fight here for Dragon still. Static and Classic trying to get away. Elementz quickly staying on the backside of Classic with Overdrive, and a flash over the wall keeps them alive, but may give up Dragon.
Yeah, an excellent little 2 versus 2 fight there from the bottom lane to kind of get control over Dragon. And despite the initiation, with the Dragon already damaging MakNooN, they still managed to win that fight with some excellent movement from their own champions. And they made that 3v2 work into a kill for them. And there is that Golem buff still happening. Misaya getting a free Golem buff here, and we talked about it being a little bit of a disadvantage in that Snoopeh playing that Maokai needs Golem buff as well, where his is still up. He can get that no problem. And so they just basically got a free one, and that is an excellent thing to do.
Yeah, it's a very great job being able to deny the enemy team their resources, especially those buffs as well as objectives. They weren't able to fully go for Dragon, but they were able to get a few kills, or 1 kill, and come up with the blue buff, which is perfectly fine and totally worth it.
Yeah, absolutely some good openings here. You can see a 1,600 gold lead, so they've stretched that advantage a little bit as this game is going on. The World team showing why they're such world-class competitors. Right now, Roku shoving this mid lane. He's kind of forcing Misaya to last hit against the turret, almost getting a hook there onto Static, but he knew that was coming. He baited back and forth, and here comes some aggression up in this mid lane. Misaya taking a bit of damage there by Roku, so he took a tower shot for his trouble, so he's not completely dominated this matchup just yet.
Roku looks like he could be heading down towards bottom. Nass is coming down, I believe, to grab blue for himself, sustaining with that blue buff up top against Lee Sin with a little bit of spell vamp from his passive will help him to stay in lane as well. It looks like bottom lane going on hard. Mistake is forced to flash out. Ultimates have been used, and it is going to be a clean escape here. Mistake dodging that, and it will be Classic. Still forced to just farm up his lane. Now mid to Roku. Snoopeh trying to shut him down. Can Misaya get in range for the Rune Prison? But it looks like Roku able to dash away. And looks like Jat says we could be comfortable enough to take this Dragon.
Well, they did force both champions from the bot lane from World Team away from this. Roku burned his own ultimate, but his health bar is not too bad, and he's got some mana, so he could come to support this attempt as well. They've pulled Milk Cow down on that Lee Sin. He's now in the middle of the map. They've left MakNooN alone at the top on Nasus, so they do have good map position right now. And looks like they will indeed get this Dragon for themselves, bringing the score quite a bit back. Team Riot now the first Dragon of the game. 15 minutes and 50 seconds will be the respawn on that one. So check that top scoreboard. When that time ticks around, you'll see another team fight most likely happen on that side of the map.
Now just cresting your 10th minute in the game, 3-1 in favor of the World team, and only 1,000 gold separates these two right now. We see a little bit of aggression from Roku, but he is very low and does not have the blue buff that Ryze currently has. So she is going to be able to bully her out of lane, and you can see him just shutting down the minions, stopping them before they get to the middle, and now his minions will push into the turret, negating that XP, and hopefully forcing Ahri back far enough so she can't farm them as well.
Yep, we see Roku just being forced to stay at his turret. He wanted to go back, but the early pressure just kind of forces him to stay here or give up a couple hundred gold. So you see him waiting around and doing that. And Misaya says, well, you're shoved to your turret. I'm going to take a Wraith Camp. That's fine with me. I'll get some free gold out of this one. And he's really just commanding that mid lane. He's doing an excellent job there on Ryze. And if you look at the bottom, there are 81 minions on that Ryze versus only 51 onto Ahri. So the World team, Misaya on Ryze, he's winning that lane.
Yeah, that really helps, especially with champions like Mordekaiser that can easily push the lane, head back, and just simply grab those Wraiths up. The jungler doesn't need it. They're getting a lot of assists from lane kills and doing their job well. So if you can feed that to the mid lane, it's a very powerful lane to have. And AP, those mages scale more off leveling than they do with the items. And that's why you give them that solo lane in the AD bottom to scale with money.
Yeah, absolutely right. And speaking of that AD lane, some more aggression coming in here. But wow, how safe. Vayne and Blitzcrank just not taking damage from these pushes at all. You can see almost a little bit of a face-off there at the top lane. Lee Sin being forced away, knows he can be dived on this turret. Has a ward that sees Snoopeh waiting in the wings, and Roku waiting around as well to counter-gank this. This could be quite the interesting fight. And there's the Nocturne ultimate. He's going to go for the bottom lane, and they're going into Mistake again, and that is a huge amount of damage. The kill goes up there at the bottom lane. They pick up that kill on the Vayne, and that is what they needed. They do need to shut that champion down. She's at 79 minion kills right now to the only 65 of Graves, but Graves having that champion kill there, Classic having that gold is a very big deal.
Yeah, they're going to be able to punish this turret a little bit. Whether they want to take it down is their choice. Classic is having a bit of hard time in lane, so do they want to end that laning phase early and head up? No, they're going to keep it, and they're going to allow him to farm minions for the next few minutes. We do see milk count being pushed back a little bit. Snoopeh says, yeah, there's a turret, but I'm going in anyways. Twisted Advance goes down. The safeguard is on from Lee Sin. That damage mitigation is there, and he's doing a very good job. Actually, 2v1, turning the game around. It is now milk count in a 2v1 situation, coming up with not one, but possibly 2 kills. Maokai healing. Can milk count turn this around? Safeguard to save himself. Flashing away. Snoopeh pursues, but stops just short of the turret.
That is an excellent, excellent kill there by MakNooN, playing that Lee Sin. Got almost a little bit too greedy there trying to dive Snoopeh. Didn't realize an entire minion wave was there beating down on him, so he had to back up a little bit, but he still came up with a kill in a 1 versus 2. Absolutely great play.
Looks like farming bottom still, just milling about back and forth on the minions. Classic knows this is a dirty engagement. He is going to take a lot of damage if he tries to get in there. The blue buff just taken by Ahri. Roku is going to use that in middle to help himself get that regeneration, a little bit of cooldown, and really get in the face of Misaya. Misaya has been beating down on the front door of Roku, and he's going to try to return that favor now.
All right, you can see Ahri with that golem buff has a lot of mana to spare and can start spamming that Q ability. Oh, the pulse, Ahri going up onto Classic's Graves. A little bit of damage being dealt there, but they're going to counterattack back onto Vayne, down to half health right now, and they're still chasing down a little bit. They could go for some even more pressure, but that's going to settle out for a little bit right now, so it looks like they're going to be okay. But in that mid lane, it's actually a very good thing for Roku on that Ahri. Can start spamming that Orb of Deception and getting those minion kills back in her favor. Now has to be afraid. Snoopeh's coming around from the back. There's going to be a root right there. Cleanses it immediately. Still being slowed down. Goes in for the pressure. Can he pick up the kill on Misaya? Tries to escape. No. Will not quite get that one. Jack coming in from the side, but can't quite do enough damage to make that one happen. And now MakNooN is coming by as well. This could be bad for Jack. Can he spell shield it in time? A whole lot of pain happening now onto Jack's face, and that will be a second kill coming in from the world team, bringing us 5-3. But now at the bottom lane, even more pressure. Elementz taking a whole lot of damage. That will be 1 kill. Static being forced away now by Mistake. Can Static stay alive here? Trying to get away from this one. No. Mistake will pick up 1. Now Classic, can he return the favor? Uh-oh, MakNooN teleporting in from the back. The Wither is on, and he will keep pressing. Classic's going to try to quick draw away, still trying to escape, and he might make it out. Still very, very low. The tumble happens, and MakNooN picks up the kill underneath that turret. A great Spirit Fire, and Misaya and Snoopeh were both coming down.
Absolutely relentless. These guys are doing everything they can to stop map control right now of Team Riot, quickly pulling themselves up by 3 kills. We will see Dragon coming up in about 40 seconds, and we'll definitely see movement for that map objective.
It's going to be a very big objective here. They could have actually gone for a turret kill with all of them down at the bottom of the map. They could have said, yeah, screw it, let's push, let's get a turret, let's reset. But right now, it looks like they've sent some champions to heal. They've actually sent Mistake to grab the Lizard buff here. That's going to be a very big deal. When you hold that buff, your basic attacks, they will slow and apply bonus damage over time to the targets that you've hit, which means that if you're a champion who relies on basic attacks, like Vayne does, it's really, really good for you because you'll keep empowering yourself and withering down your opponents.
Misaya knowing completely when that blue buff comes up, but they're going to use that to their advantage and quickly take another free Dragon for themselves. In another 6 minutes at 22:03, we'll see Dragon come back up. 7-4 right now at your 16th minute in the game. A bit of a 3,000 gold or 2,000 gold lead right now by World Team. Riot is still completely in this game.
Yeah, Riot, I mean, it's so good of them that they actually grabbed those Dragon kills. That is keeping them right now in this game where they've just been out-killed so far. And those, of course, are very, very important. It gives you control over the lane and a whole lot of, just gold and experience from getting this. So they've actually forced Mistake to hide away from his turret. That early aggression from Jack coming around, saying, if you come in and try to fight at this turret, we can dive you, and they could get a free kill out of that.
We're going to see Mistake still being pushed back to his turret here. Blitzcrank trying to do what he can, but we see Roku getting taken down right now. He did get Rune Prism, but he is going to have a chase using his ultimate to get out of that one. So he's going to have to play a little bit safer in the mid lane now.
Oh, a nice spell shield from Jat, blocks the Rune Prism, jumps in onto Misaya, but Masaya's got a whole lot of damage there on Rise. This could be dangerous. Oh my gosh, his health pool is melting! And Misaya on Rise picks up that kill, and this is looking bad for Roku. Flashes away. Can he escape MakNooN? Snoopeh's coming around as well. No, that will be 1 kill. However, they did take some damage, and they're on a very scary side of the map.
A very dominant job there. 4,000 gold, at least 2,000 gold pick up to make that lead a little bit bigger. The deficit for Riot is growing, and here we do see the bottom lane just being tanked on right now by all the members of World Team Classic, left alone, and they are going to be forced out of this fight. We do see Mistake trying to come in, could not condemn anybody against the wall, and Static and MakNooN were forced to kind of push back to the turret, hold there. No objectives to be had yet, but they may be able to take this bottom turret.
Wow, that was just some great moves there by the World Team. And uh-oh, they've caught up to Static again. He's not in good shape. That will be a kill picked up onto that Janna. And now 11-4, the World Team has started to grow an advantage at a pretty rapid pace. We've got 4 minutes to go until the next Dragon. They could go for a turret kill anytime. Jat has actually moved back to go for some kills here, trying to pick up a Lizard buff for himself and try to use that to get himself some mid-game advantage. They can pick up some more kills here. They have a good team for landing ganks. They have a whole heck of a lot of damage output. But the amount of lockdown that you mentioned during that early game, the lockdown from this World Team has picked them up a lot of very, very good kills.
Yeah, that teleport from MakNooN, very big. And there we see again, more coward control coming out from Snoopeh on Maokai. Roku trying to get away, and the Room Prison just out of range on Roku's Ahri. They are going to go back to milling about in mid lane. He sees Snoopeh going back down towards the bottom, and you can see just how cautiously he is playing. That early Oracles is giving them so much vision in the Jungle Freak and allowing them to clear out anything that the Riot team is trying to produce.
And wow, they actually know that Jat is right there in that brush. That blue health bar you see means there's a ward, and that's Snoopeh's ward. They see Jat is there. He's now moving over towards the Golem buff that, again, they know has spawned here. That ward as well is, again, that's a World Team ward. They know where they are. This is the World Team's vision right now. They see everyone on this team. They see them waiting around. They see them going for this Golem. But they found Snoopeh. They could jump in. He flashes over the wall. They're going to chase this one down and to see if they can do enough damage as here comes Vayne and Blitzcrank. Fights on both sides here. They're jumping in onto Rise. Rise now pummeling down onto Jat right now, doing some damage to this Nocturne. And that is going to be the kill on Ahri picked up so far. And Vayne chasing Graves down, though they will answer back onto Rise 1-1. There's MakNooN and Lee Sin stuck 1v3, flashes over the wall, trying to escape and actually seems to have made his way out of this combat. So 1-1 so far. Now can he dodge everyone else? He needs to get away from this one. Elementz chasing him down. Overdrive and still, there's the hook. He lands it. Snoopeh comes in for some pain as well. And MakNoon's not in a happy place. Still trying to run, kicks away, shields to a minion. Now trying to hide under his turret. Snoopeh under this turret. He can do enough damage. Tries to pick it up. No! MakNooN coming in from the backside, forces that one away, and is just sitting there, hitting a turret, has a lot of armor. He's just hitting the turret, man. He just doesn't even care. He's just going for it.
MakNooN just too good. Gonna cycle this one out, and they're actually gonna micro it. Quickly, ulti, stops it, but no! Classic coming out of nowhere, finding himself a kill there. Very nice, and they are gonna put pressure on this. Elementz with just enough mana to lock this down. A good exhaust, but a flash cleanse is probably gonna be a kill onto Classic. Graves goes down, and Ahri here to help. Elementz is gonna find himself in a tight spot, but flashes over the wall to save himself by the skin of his teeth. And we do see Ahri coming up with a double kill. Or Vayne, rather, on Mistake.
Wow, and Mistake is playing so very well. By trade, he's a support player. He and Elementz played rock, paper, scissors. Actually, no, they benched Elementz and put him back on support. And Mistake took over his AD carry, and he is doing so very well in this game. Misaya now on this Rise. Again, just taking control. Another Golem buff has been stolen. And, I mean, I think Ahri's only seen one Golem buff the entire game.
Yeah, that's going to be really tough, especially when you are dependent on that blue buff, especially like Ahri. We did say before, you know, Rise needs it as well, and that's what Snoopeh has been doing. They've been denying that resource in the purple jungle and completely messing up that timer, so Jat doesn't even know when to go back and when to give that to Roku. That's really messing with the minds there and really messing with the aggression that they can put into this laning phase, which is actually being held still by the World Team as they're breaking it and then returning to laning phase and forcing Riot to do the same.
Oh, this is not looking good for Janna. Has been caught in the jungle, taking a nice couple. Oh my gosh, that pull! That was phenomenal by Elementz. Just from downtown, picks that kill up. And here's Snoopeh and MakNooN going for a two-man Baron right here. And for those who don't know, Baron is hard to kill. That thing is pretty tanky, deals a whole lot of damage, but they've now grabbed in Vayne here, and that's going to be just enough damage. And MakNooN walks right by, and he seems to not even know about it. They're going to get this one for free with no knowledge at all. That Baron buff going to the world team, and that's quite the big buff there. 29 and 12 is going to be the respawn.
Yep, milcOw is going to see that. So a 22-minute Baron, 16-6 right now. The world team just absolutely dissecting and finding out how Riot played right off the bat, and they said, I think we can counter this. Riot now trying to regroup, figuring out what the world team is bringing to the table. With this second game in hand, they're definitely putting up a better one, but this is not over yet. And the world team is still trying to beat down the front door of the Riot team. Now the second middle turret here. Nice minion grab by Elementz as he tries to get a little bit of gold under his pocket there. And we are going to see the Riot team now gathering. Once again, the world team has made them focus on that one turret, pulling them out of laning phase, costing them experience, and making them fight these 5v5s.
Yeah, but we can see Team Riot having to sit there and defend at this turret. They do need to stop this sort of bleeding. They've launched 3 turrets so far this 23-minute game, and more pressure happening from the world team. MakNoon's actually sitting there at the top lane farming, and they're pushing Riot back in a 4 versus 5 right now. Another turret has fallen down. That is their 4th of the match, and they may stay around to push some more. If they can land a Blitzcrank grab, that could be all they need to get the inhibitor.
It just seems like there's so much CC on the team. We see Jack getting caught out there. The ultimate goes down. milcOw throws himself into the fray. It's going to be Jack falling first. Elementz getting a grab onto that one in Classic. May make it out alive. A beautiful Monsoon ultimate from Static's Janna. And it looks like MakNooN with another teleport in, giving 0 Fs. And he's going to be going for this one all the way to the laser, all the way to the fountain. Can he grab Static? And he cannot. Trying to go for the dive, but he actually gets taken out a few feet off of the fountain.
Got a aggression from Roku. They're gonna, stun into the turret. Nice play there. And this could be another one from Mistaken. He does pick up his 2nd double kill of the game. That is the ace as well. Now they have to wait for Team Riot to respawn as they push into this base. They still got a turret to kill actually, and they're gonna go backwards now and try to take over the structure. And after this turret, they will go for an inhibitor. And when the inhibitor is down, that middle lane, you see these minions spawning, they will get beefier. They will spawn a new minion called the Super Minion. And that thing can almost take a champion on 1 versus 1, especially in early stages of the game. And that will allow them to keep pressing through this map. That will keep Riot's attention in this mid lane. And it gives the world team time to go elsewhere and grab even more objectives.
And the great thing about being able to push so far, having Baron buff, you control most of the map objectives. The minions that are flowing out of your base are giving you more vision all the way into the team's enemy base. So you pretty much have free roam around the map. Dragon being grabbed there around 25th minute. We're going to see that at, I believe, 29:45 once again. But that was the first Dragon that World Team has grabbed along with their Baron. And really, the amount of laning phase that they took into consideration, the teleports, the movement between lanes and the transitions, and all those early kills really negated the fact that they even needed Dragons.
You're right. Their ability to move around was this big thing. You saw the earlier kills in the upper jungle, in Riot's jungle, where you can see Ahri and Janna running around right now. They picked up that kill onto Ahri, and they all swept down into that bottom lane, and they killed Graves, and they killed Janna just together right there in just one hardcore dive. And that's what they've been doing. They've been collapsing on very good kills and making some great things happen for them. They've just done a phenomenal job of picking up the advantages where they could find them. Before it was Ryze shoving that mid lane with Golem buff and then going back for raids, keeping Roku's Ahri at his turret. And there's a Nocturne ultimate. They're going to go in for another push. They try to pick up Mistake. He's going to jump in for a whole lot of damage on a Jat. milcOw coming by as well, but he's going to stealth out of the way. And here comes Elementz with the knockup. Jat will fall down very fast. Mistake now legendary on Janna, pushing in now for that Lee Sin. Can maybe pick up one more kill there. And here comes everyone else. Ryze landing that Rune Prison. That is another kill being picked up there. And now they can keep running by. Classic on Graves trying to escape this one. Can he jump over the wall? He will flash, and that will be an escape for him. Blitzcrank almost lands that rocket grab. And now Roku on Ahri being forced to run from MakNooN. It looks like he will make his way out of this one. Again, dashing with his ultimate to make a whole lot of movement happen. It looks like he's going to be safe right now. Well, we see the world team
go straight across and put the most distance he can between him and the opponents. Overdrive, sending Elementz all the way towards. Charm is going to slow him down a bit, but I believe he may have, like an IndyCar. Roku pulling the dodge there. And we're going to see if Roku can get out of this one. Ahri trying to do what she can. The ultimate is down. He cannot dash away. Still using the charm to slow, but that, the no-look Ahri throw. Wow. Roku coming out with the no-look. Very nice job there. MakNooN does finish up the kill as the base is being beaten on here. Super minions attacking those inner Nexus turrets, and Jat is now trying to hightail it out of there as MakNooN is slowly on his tail, giving him a laugh emote. It looks like MakNooN is going to be in the fray on this one, looking for Rise, but will he be able to get there fast enough? He baits into the fight.
Oh,
MakNooN still rolling, misses the concussion, does not slow him down. Jat is in a 3v1 now. Rise finally gets a root prison. Jat still going. MakNooN, could he go down? No.
And MakNooN started dancing, by the way. He stopped for the /D emote. He walked like an Egyptian dance. That was hilarious. He stopped there and said, come fight me, come fight me. Rise is behind you. And Maokai's where I'm going. Leads him into Maokai. Maokai roots him up. Rise roots him up. That was hilarious. And now Mistake coming in for a push to this bottom lane. The rest of Team Riot trying to hold the mid lane still. And you can see Vayne just getting free damage on this turret. Picks that one down. And here comes the reinforcements. This inhibitor going to fall very, very quickly.
And looks like they are going to go for this second inhibitor. Inhibitor is down that lane, also spawning super minions. It's just going to be such a formidable force they're able to bring to the table here. Minions and champions alike coming from the world team, just battering on the front door here. Jack gets stuck in a root prism. Some abilities are down, and they're looking for these cooldowns to go for the fight initiation. You see a little bit of an attack there, a little bit of an aggression. Janet does fall. That's going to be the support for the fight. We see Static down. Milk Cow also falling as Rise. Misaya coming up very big in the fight with his mistake on his backside. And Roku getting taken down on the fountain as the Nexus turrets are being opened up for the Nexus in these next few seconds.
And MakNooN making his way, going for the destruction of the base. And this looks to be the fall of the Nexus. The first game definitely going to the hands of the world team as they sit there and start dying to the Nexus laser. Finally going for these last few hits. MakNooN just waiting around and steals that last hit. Congratulations to game one, taken by the world team.
And an amazing game it was. We saw the world team actually taking a few hits in the beginning. They did find that first blood on Milk Cow, so that was a big help up top. A little bit of their practice matches showed the world team doing some crazy things. Hopefully we'll be able to see that in this next match.
Yeah, we've seen them play extremely close games and scrimmages earlier today, as well as some very interesting things happening. Of course, right here you saw the first 10 to 12 minutes, exceptionally close, equal kills, equal gold. Team Riot picking up those early dragons, but it looks like in the end, it did come out in the favor of the world team.
All right, guys, I just want to know, who's having a good time right now? Are you ready for another game? All right, we've got more action coming from Summoner's Rift. But first, let's send it over to Average Gatsby, who's standing by with our special guest to break down all the action from game one.
Thanks, Rivington. First round action, and there's a ton to talk about. The world team put on an absolutely dominating performance. And with me to talk about their win, all the way from Denmark, it's the one and only Guardsman Bob. So we just saw the world team put on an absolute clinic. What do you think they did right?
what a crazy. I don't even know if I have the words for this game now. So I think the world team, having no experience playing together, made really clever use of their resources. Like, they know they have Snoopeh on the team, who does really strong early ganks. And it's sort of, they supported that by picking up good support for ganks in all the lanes. Like, you have the Blitz pool, the Vayne Wallstun bottom, you have the Rise Rune Pleasant mid, as well as the Nasal slow top. So Snoopeh was just able to run in, grab early kills in a couple of lanes. But then for a moment, it kind of seemed like the Riot team was able to stem the tide, pick up a couple of kills of their own, taking a dragon, actually kind of carving out a lead going into the mid game. But then, like, the world team just flexed their muscles and showed Riot why they're the world team.
So what do you think the Riot team needs to do to come back in game two?
They need to ask the world team very politely here between the games not to ban Jet's junglers. I mean, so I think the world team done their research. They know Jet is the person with the most recent esports experience. He's probably the guy that's going to carry the Riot team through the early mid game. And they just took out all his 3 top champions. They just nerfed Jet. They stole his red buff early, forced him to do an alternative jungle route that really took Jet well out of the game.
All right, thanks, Bob. There's plenty more action on the way as round 2 is just moments away. The Riot Games World Invitational continues right after this.
There ain't no other but the one I love. Won't you come deliver me? That's all.
Mustang. Unleash yours. The new 2013 Mustang.
Whether I'm right or whether I'm wrong, gotta be me. Gotta be me. I gotta be me. Gotta be me. What else could I be but who
This is Kevin.
Hello? Hello? Pete?
Is this you?
For that one-of-a-kind, crispity, crunchity, peanut buttery taste, get your hands on a Butterfinger.
Nobody's gonna lay a finger on my Butterfinger.
You guys are idiots.
From Las Vegas at the Palms Resort and Casino, this is the Riot Games World Invitational. And now, Rivington Bislin III and David Freak Turley.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Riot Games World Invitational. Rivington Bislin III, along with David Freak Turley, bringing you right into the second round of action as Team Riot and the World Team are already in Champ Select.
Yeah, indeed, and this is going to be a phenomenal match. These teams are holding the same sides as before. The World Team, again, blue team, their first pick in band powers, this time going over to Elementz. And then on the purple team, once again, is going to be Team Riot. And they've got to come back with a vengeance and make this game convincing. They do not want to go 2-0. They do not want to lose this one out. And you're seeing already some similar things and some lessons learned. Alistair, the first ban once again from the World Team. But Team Riot saying, whoa, 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 ban out that Rise. That was crazy.
Yeah, definitely Misaya's Rise was a huge factor in that last game. A lot of early damage output from Rise as well as movement. As we stated in that last game, World Team was all over the map. MakNooN teleporting everywhere. Rise contributing to every lane on Misaya, or every lane rather. So we're going to see those bans being chosen by Team Riot. They don't want to see that again, Freak.
Yeah, still just very afraid of that TF, and of course that Rise, just very, very scary. You're also seeing Nocturne as the ban picked up by the World Team. They didn't like how well Jat played that, and they're actually dropping out Lee Sin. I don't know if they were afraid of Milk Cow or what. He did have that great survival and kill in that 1 versus 2 earlier, or if that's just a good, solid ban, and they're trying to deny that option. But that has allowed them, Udyr and Trundle both still available.
Yeah,
so we'll see if Chat, wants those champions.
Yeah, with that, there was that almost double kill top, as you stated on Lee Sin. He did pretty much win the lane, MakNooN, on Nasus, but they said he knows how to play Lee Sin, and if he was left alone for any period of time, that would have been a very much harder champion with Milk Cow playing him to be stopped. So they don't want any of that in the game.
Yeah, and it's cool. This is the second time now that the World Team has first picked a mage. They've grabbed Karthus right away. Now that could be Jungle Karthus. That has been seen before, but it could also very much be Misaya taking names once again, playing Karthus into a matchup where he's got very open counter picks available. They could be almost anything here. But you've seen Team Riot now grab entirely different champions so far. They've taken Nautilus as their big jungler, and they've grabbed Wukong as their top laner.
Yeah, that Wukong is going to be very versatile as well. Can really dodge a lot of damage with his duplicate image ability. He can clone himself and just walk off. And we see actually a very mage-heavy team for this World Team right now. 3 straight AP picks. However, Lulu can be played as AD.
Yep, and there could be a couple of different choices here. We're now seeing Team Riot go into their next 2 choices. They do have some things they can counterpick from. And, they've still got an open sort of set of territory here. They don't know quite what the World Team may do, but they seem to be kind of formalizing the choice a little bit. And if this Kennen is going to be the choice here, this could be a very big area of effect focused team, and it is. It's going to be Kennen and Wukong bringing up a lot of area of effect crowd control in this lineup, and Nautilus the same way. Can crowd control and damage a whole lot of champions at once. And now they've also grabbed Leona for some very, very strong initiation. this could be an explosive lineup for Team Riot.
Yeah, that is a lineup that says, we grab you and you're done. You will not have any chance to stop your champion from going down. So the opponent team, or enemy team rather, is completely helpless in saving their friend. We do see MakNooN and Snoopeh picking up a few more APs. We're going to have to see Vladimir being picked up and Lux as well. Vladimir able to sustain while using his own health to cast his abilities. That Blood Mage is very dominant top lane.
Yeah, you've got a lot of interesting abilities here because at this point, you've almost got too many cooks in the kitchen. Now, I have seen Jungle Karthus be very successful. I've seen maybe Lulu as an attack damage carry, sort of. Oh, it's going to actually be Master Yi grabbed in here. And of course, that could be played by MakNooN, or that might be a swap somewhere else. But you don't quite know where everyone's going just yet. You don't have any hardcore guarantees, but you have a champion that I kind of expected to see here in this matchup. It's the possible quirky pick for the attack damage carry to line up there with Static on Leona. That is a hyper-aggressive, very bursty bottom lane. It's a whole lot of damage all up front, and most champions can't withstand that kind of pressure. So this could be a very, very volatile, very dangerous bottom lane here for Team Riot. And now we do have all 10 champions locked in. We will see where everything goes. Right now it is looking like Jungle Karthus from Snoopeh, and we'll see what happens here.
Wow, you know, that Jungle Karthus, very scary. The wall of pain being leveled very fast, coming out of the jungle to just shred magic resistance and slow you down immensely. And coming out of the jungle, you do not want to see Karthus as well, because he can just lay waste on you as you walk away. That is going to be pretty scary for them. But Jat on Nautilus, one of his most powerful jungles. Jat is very tanky as Nautilus, and that is just an innate ability that Nautilus has himself. Jat usually clearing the jungle very fast, but if Nautilus is countered, he can fall behind quite easily.
Yeah, he is going to want the Golem buff in early levels, and the cool thing here is Roku playing that Kennen, and then you've got Milk Cow here onto that Lee Sin, or not Lee Sin, sorry, but Wukong.
Yep.
You've got, again, non-blue reliant laners here. They do not need that Golem buff to succeed in their lanes, and so Jack can constantly grab that Golem buff to give him that mana regeneration, to give him that cooldown reduction, and you will have a good time in the jungle that way. Now, of course, we did see the World team excellent counter jungling the last game. They stole that Golem buff about half the time, and that's going to be a very big problem for Jat. But if they can hold their territory, this is a bit of an advantage here for Team Riot.
You know, they could really play this with Roku countering the AP mid as Wukong. That works very well. Wukong dash, slam down with that armor pen, and then he just clones himself out of there. A very good AP counter.
The problem is, though, he's going to be against Misaya's Mordekaiser, and Mordekaiser is not easy to shove out of lane. The first maybe 3 levels, you have a pretty good chance at it, but once Mordekaiser gains some levels, is able to build that shield up more steadily and use those spells to deal damage, it becomes more and more difficult to kick out Mordekaiser from the lane. So we'll see if that pans out well, but you're right. That early pressure there available from Wukong, played by Roku, that's absolutely a possibility here.
And a few members, not so many shields, but a few members are going to be able to help themselves against that Karthus ultimate, that Requiem that attacks every member on the map. And ladies and gentlemen, now as we jump into your second match again, World Team taking number 1. If you want to see him take 2 straight, let's hear it for World Team.
And the obvious call out for Team 2, if you want the purple team, if you want Team Riot to take it home and bring it to 1-1, let me hear you in the audience. And with a crowd like that backing you, let's see if they can bring that one back to 1-1. But we are here, and we see the World team actually a bit pensive early on. They're on their side of the jungle. They're kind of chilling out. And we'll see. And I think it's because they really want to protect Snoopeh's Golem buff here. They want him to be in good shape. And I mean, Karthus really needs mana to jungle well here. And so they want to just protect him and make sure that early game goes well.
Yeah, and again, they're doing somewhat the same strategy here. They're going to put a few defensive champs up top. Just make sure there's no movement. Give themselves vision. And you can see as well, World Elite playing a little bit safer this time. They're going to go ahead, guard that blue buff, make sure the game starts off without any hitches. No worries on jungling or counter jungling on this.
And Jat putting that early rank in his shield. He's going to start the jungle. MakNooN actually playing a bit aggressively. He spots Static. Static spots him. They do both know what's going on here. And I think MakNoon's trying to bait. He's going in for some early Wraith steals. Oh, and he gets 2 of them. Oh, and he's going to go ahead and just last hit this one more and then leave the final one. Some good counter juggling here by MakNoon, and he's still actually waiting around. He hasn't been stopped yet. He's been spotted, but no one's stopping him.
Yeah, he is going to continue through that. Looks like MilkCow is going to stay top and just try and do what he can to farm up minions as well. MakNoon is going to have 2 camps to himself, and a very nice proc from Alpha Strike there helps him to get another one as he leaves those camps. A little lackluster for Jat to come around. Good attacks by MilkCow, the minion actually throwing up a shield on that one, and he won't be able to get the shuriken down.
Yeah, this should be a very good lane for MilkCow. He should have a great chance here against Lee Sin. This is going to be a very difficult matchup for MakNoon, but we'll see if he can pull this one out. It's going to be a whole lot of pressure. The basic attack still going to come in here, but this bottom lane is going to be a little bit scary. We do have, looks like, basically attack damage Lulu here. Or actually, it could just be double mage style with Lux Lulu here in this bottom lane, and we'll see who ends up being the big gold earner. They're both kind of going for the last hits here. We can see Misaya actually getting harassed a bit by Roku. Although this Wukong taking a bit of damage as well. Mordekaiser trading blows. We're not quite sure who's going to come out ahead here in this matchup.
Yeah, those boots, 3 pots right now. The taster's choice for each lane pretty much. Trying to get that sustain. I believe they're going to have about 350 health off of those potions that they have in their inventory, so they can stay in lane a little bit longer. It's what you want to do. You want to soak up as much experience as you can before going back, grab that gold. Good damage coming out from Roku and getting out, but there it is. Very nice E from Mordekaiser, and that AoE is just able to keep Roku, as you said, at bay. As Mordekaiser levels, he's going to become much, much stronger and be able to keep that shield up for a longer time.
Yeah, Mordekaiser is the king of area of effect damage, hitting multiple targets at once. This makes him clear minion waves exceptionally quickly, and it makes him extremely terrifying in larger team fights as he just basically hits everyone all at once and kind of burns them down. Here we have a possible aggression. MilkCow almost in range of MakNoon, dealing some damage with that lightning rush, only getting minions so far though, but he's trying to harass him out there. This Master Yi actually out of health potions now, so he could be harassed out of this lane before too long.
So very nice job. Lulu, looks like Mistake is kind of pushing the lane as well here, just trying to get it into that turret, and they do have the ability to do that. They've warded behind themselves. They're keeping it very cautious in the river. It looks like Jat will focus on Misaya in mid here. Double buff on Jat. He is going to get the anchor toss out. Will it hit? The flash will not go out. The 1-2, and he does force Misaya to expend that summoner flash. Now again, Misaya did that the first time, and this is kind of a repeat of the first game, but Misaya was able to come up with a kill on the second time around, so we'll see if they can capitalize this time on the Riot team.
Yeah, well, Snoopeh is now level 4, has actually not gotten his own lizard buff yet, so he's still just sitting on that golem, but being level 4 actually takes over mid for a short time as Mordekaiser was pushed back, but you can see, speaking of being pushed back, Team Riot there, Classic and Static, up against their own turret. They've got to be afraid of this very good area of effect damage that's available here from this world team. Lulu and Lux are able to do quite a bit here and kind of just keep shoving Corki back to his turret.
You know, Elementz is also doing a great job of helping to just farm that lane up by leaving the minions at the last bit of health, which is really helping. Misaya, again, the world team always keeping in mind that anybody can be anywhere, keeping themselves safe with vision around the map. Freak, with so many early wards and not being able to bind oracles, how do you mitigate a situation like that?
You just gotta play as you know, safely or aggressively as you can to make those things happen. Sorry, real quick, it's a little bit of fight going on. MakNooN doing good damage to MilkCow, but when you're facing great map vision, you just won't get any ganks. There's not any really great answers. You've got to get that oracles, or you say, well, you spent a lot of money on wards. We'll just wait it out and have a gold advantage here. MilkCow still getting harassed out. MakNooN doing great damage here, and he's just last hitting minions, getting his health back. And then he just alpha strikes, and oh, some early pressure might come in. Roku jumping up on the Misaya. Some good damage being dealt on both sides, both level 5 right now. This Mordekaiser getting hurt pretty bad by Wukong. He will drop a ward down and then hide away as Master Yi comes around.
Very nice job there. It seems that Riot, this is what the world team did, but Riot is figuring out the ways to mitigate all the damage trade. We see that MilkCow top goes into electrical surge every time that he gets alpha strike. This causes Yi to have a mark on him as soon as he finishes alpha strike, and we could see that he was Roku was using the clone very effectively, attacking Mordekaiser, not taking too much. Static getting caught up here. No ultimates to be used. No, the ignite goes off. It will not be enough for the tick to go down, and Static will keep himself alive.
Yeah, 35 health remaining. Chugged his last health potion just in time to keep his health total up, and here comes the ward. Does see him, but he's still gonna run away, and there's the ultimate. Highlander being used, almost gets caught there by Nautilus, and he will laugh. But his ultimate will time out, and it will be another scary situation for him.
Oh,
like Wukong
from Roku down bottom. It looks like they are backing off. They are seeing that there are quite a few wards now from Snoopeh in the rest of the world team, but they may have seen Snoopeh getting a little aggressive here. Roku, no, walking into the bush. Defile goes on, and it is going to be attacked, but it looks like he finds himself a bit out of position. Snoopeh heading into the bush to dodge any vision, and a very nice clone out. Oh, wow, the Mordekaiser ulti going off on the clone. And that is going to be a bait out. Very nice job as the chase goes down. First blood for Roku. And Misaya now tailing it out of here. Can Classic find the kill? The flash and stop as he went into the wall. Jat with the anchor toss to get some movement down. It's going to be less of a cooldown because he hit terrain. But it is not going to be the fight. And they are going to be able to pick up first blood 7 minutes and 45 seconds into the game.
This is definitely a great opening here for Team Riot. They've built themselves a 300 gold lead as a result. And there is Nautilus, played by Jat, and he's going for the steal on this golem buff. And this looks like the reverse of that previous game. They're now stealing away the buffs. They're getting the early kills, and they've got a bit of a gold lead.
Yeah, we saw Milkow doing a great job pushing top lane, and now bottom. Mistake continuously pushing that lane vigorously, not giving them any chance to farm. Static trying to just soak up the experience there. Misaya doing exactly what he did last game with Rise. When the lane is pushed, head back to the Wraith, grab the Wraith, you're back to lane to farm again. You're never missing experience.
And Roku actually going to freeze this minion wave in the middle of the line and just sit there and last hit sparingly. No, now going for some pressure, realizes that Mordekaiser had actually gone back to his base and is trying to shove this minion wave into the turret as fast as possible. That gets shoved down, and he's now making his way to the bottom of the map, and he could be supporting a very good gank here on behalf of Classic and Static here, this bottom lane for Team Riot. Oh, just kidding. Going for golem buff.
Looks
Close,
like they
though.
are going to be grabbing that. They could still go for it after. We saw a very early dragon before, and we are going to still see Roku heading down towards that bottom lane. Now, as he goes around, they are not going to see him. He's going to try to creep down that bottom bush. Again, MakNooN just causing trouble for Jat in the jungle, but it looks like he's bottom lane. Static, Roku, and Classic trying to come out on this one. The shield goes down. The Leona ultimate, and it is not going to be enough. Mistake tries to save, but he cannot. Elementz goes down.
And another skill coming in there, and some aggression coming in. MakNooN running away from Milkow. Milkow won't flash. He needs one more attack. Can he land the spells? No, he won't. Roku picked up a second kill in the bottom lane. But Milkow being forced away from that one. Oh, MakNoon's going to go for some more pressure. Can he pick up this kill?
Oh, man.
Oh, he shoots the first shuriken. And there it is. Nice job. MakNooN coming out ahead on that one.
Not much you can do there. After the shuriken was missed, you're going to see where he's coming from. We're going to have to see what he can do to push this lane. Misaya feeling very comfortable right now. Has pushed Roku out of lane a bit, but he actually went back to buy as well. And we see Roku getting those merc threads into another null magic for a little bit more magic resistance, as well as grabbing a ward. They know that their jungle is warded way too much, and they need to start warding against the opponent to get their vision as well to that advantage state.
Yep, Snoopeh going to donate that lizard buff away to Mistake. That Lulu, playing the attack damage champion for that team, is going for the AD carry role there on Lulu. We're seeing Roku once again in mid lane. Going to go for some pressure onto Misaya. Some good damage being dealt to that Mordekaiser. And the cool thing about this Wukong is he has this golem buff. He has really great mana regeneration, so he can constantly use his abilities to deal a whole lot of damage at once. That's going to be a very useful role there.
Just coming now into 11 minutes into the game. It is 3-1 with just about the exact same gold on both sides. A lot of pressure in every lane so far has caused the junglers to really be the big playmakers in this game so far. If they can continue to do that, Riot be able to come out on top in this second game.
They sent Jat on Nautilus back to base once more. Going for a couple of item purchases. Has his 2 gold for 10 items now. Said Philosopher's Stone and Heart of Gold are the pickups there. When you have items like these in your inventory, you just gain more gold, just generally over time. You just gain gold by doing this. And so he's kind of itemized for an early advantage there and saying this will scale throughout the game. I will become more beefy later on. This is how I will earn my income. And then later on, he will be a very big threat.
Wow, Mistake absolutely bursting down, but the ultimate from Mistake will save him for just a few more seconds. The aggression down to Snoopeh. Death Touch goes out, and it is going to crush him down under the turret. Jack coming up with a kill in the opposing jungle.
Excellent opener there. We can see, though, as Mordekaiser refusing to go away, still shoving through that mid lane. Jet on Nautilus coming down, trying to spot Elementz. Elementz will walk into that brush. He knows Nautilus is there, and he's going to be afraid. Elementz will go for the steal. He picks one up. Nice play there by Elementz, stealing away that golem. And Jet had waited 2 more seconds. But MakNooN taking some good pain. Milka harassing him quite successfully. MakNooN on 86 minions. Milka only on 77. So that lane is going very, very well for that Master Yi player.
Yeah, those 3 Dorans are really going to stop a lot of the magic resistance he doesn't want to build just yet. He's going to have a lot of health and be able to take all those ability damage, all that ability power damage that Kennan's throwing at him right now. Milka still doing his best to keep that lane in his favor. 5-1 now, the gold a little in favor of Riot as they were able to pick up a few kills recently. And Milka still continually farming just at his turret. Jat and Roku making a quick move here. Big plays to come.
And they've looped all the way around. Mordekaiser's not going to enjoy this. Has just used his shield ability as well, so he will not be able to buff his own resistances. Jat still chasing him down, trying to get the damage output here. And oh my gosh, Wukong has found Karthus. Who's going to do enough damage there? The ult from Mordekaiser comes off. They do get enough damage for one, but he will get taken down. And now there is a nice little pet there and a second kill coming up there. Lulu has fallen. Static taking a bit of pressure here. Ult comes off, stops World Team dead in their tracks, and they have stopped that pressure. 2 for 1 there. Team Riot coming out ahead once more. Going to lead now 1,200 gold.
Very nice job on that fight. They were able to bring it to 2-1. So Riot still coming out on top of these fights, doing a very good job for themselves. But these kills that World Team is getting may allow them to inch back slowly if they can't stop it on the Riot side. Milka backing now up top. Looks like he could be getting some good items under his belt. That Will of the Ancients is definitely going to help him to sustain against Yi, who has Meditate, as well as that Vampiric Scepter to help him lifesteal while he attacks.
Yeah, but we can see MakNooN just able to keep shoving that top lane. Almost a gank coming successfully there from that Nautilus played by Jat. But Mordekaiser will say, nope, I'm fine. We'll get some minion kills for himself, and we can still see that Karthus getting his own golem buff successfully. Roku there on Wukong doing the same for himself. The golem buffs just being taken without too much trauma now for both sides.
You know, Freak, the Riot team changing up their gameplay a little bit and really being the ones to control the laning phase. They're keeping the World Team in their lanes. What have they done to change this?
Well, I think they've picked champions that sort of work better together. They've picked very, very aggressive champions all around, actually. All of them can initiate and crowd control. They just picked more lockdown. And when you can lock down an enemy champion, you can kill them much more quickly. And we can see here they're coming in for another aggression there. The light binding the wall, so much damage being dealt to Nautilus. He will be forced back. But you can see how far back the World Team has had to play to even survive those sort of encounters. They've retreated back behind the turret. Some great crowd controls landed, of course. They stopped that pressure very, very well. Uh-oh, Milka gonna find Misaya. Some good pressure coming in. This could be very, very bad for Kennen. He's being crushed right now by Mordekaiser. We'll shove him away, but here comes some more pressure. The ultimate coming in from Nautilus. Uh-oh, but here comes Master Yi, and he has found Milka, trying to pressure that one down as Nautilus continues to chase down. Oh, Kennen lives just barely, but this is not looking too great for Mordekaiser. Some good pressure onto this Nautilus, losing health over time, and here comes Master Yi as well. This could be amazing here for the World Team. Flash force away onto Nautilus. Excellent timing and good patience by Misaya. Sat there, used his abilities, dealt some damage, rebuilt his shield, and made that one happen. And now Roku fighting up with MakNooN. The ultimate comes off, trying to escape from that encounter. And of course he will escape and be alive there, but that could have been very scary.
In the first turret being taken down, 16 minutes into the game, it is 8-2. Riot coming back in force with this game. 21,000 to 18,000 gold as Riot continues their lead. They're trying to hold this snowball, and they can continue to do so. They will be able to start controlling Dragon and Baron objectives, which we saw very early last game.
It was Static making a flank happen. Does land some crowd control onto Lulu. A whole bunch of damage being dealt there. But again, they've taken control over this. Oh, that was close. The Lizard buff, they do get that one, but that was almost grabbed by Elementz there on Lux. That Lucent Singularity came out, almost exploded it in time to take that one, but they will be safe this time.
Mordekaiser kind of pushing Kennen back in middle here. Looks like Roku has gone up top, so they're going to switch these lanes a little bit. For what it's worth right now, that mid turret, not a lot of health, so they're really just going to the lane where they're going to be getting the most experience. The team doesn't need help yet. They're going to farm up as much as possible and really make themselves an opponent for that next fight.
Yeah, there is some absolutely great late game potential here. Actually, on both sides, I don't know quite who has the better late game necessarily. Master Yi, probably the best scaling champion almost in the game, really, but the problem is he is very weak to crowd control effects, to stuns and roots and snares, and things that will lock him up and keep him from really chasing enemy champions down. And you look at the Riot team, and they have stuns and roots and just everything abound. They have the ability to lock down Master Yi, but if MakNooN can do it correctly, can navigate and skirt those effects, he will destroy everybody. Wow,
they're going very hard on Misaya here. It looks like they are going to anchor toss, death charge down, but it looks like Lulu comes in with the ultimate, and growth will keep Misaya alive. It is now a 3v3 situation. Roku has to clone out of this one, and they are forced out of this fight on low health. MakNooN coming in though. MakNooN never stopping. MakNooN does not care if he goes in for the kill. Getting stunned down, does not come up. He does get Roku, but then falls to that other attack. Very nice 1-for-1. Roku coming up on MakNooN as he traded the kill out. And they are going to be able to get a lot of damage on this turret freak. A very aggressive front end push here coming from the world team.
Yeah, that is a great positioning advantage there. But they're going to jump in onto Misaya. Mordekaiser taking so much damage, he will fall down. And they're going to move on now to Karthus. And Karthus is next to drop, but they've picked up Milk Cow from Team Riot. However, that has become a 2-for-1. So that is a great initiation there by Team Riot. Classic on Corki. Waited on the side there. Just waited, was patient. And they all collapsed at once. And their coordinated kill on that Mordekaiser was just instantaneous. They blew him up. They moved right away and picked up that second kill onto that Karthus. That 2-1 was very much what they needed there.
So here's the thing, Freak. It looks like Riot team has great control. They're able to get this first dragon. But what happens now? They're not taking very many turrets. They're actually pushed down to their second and middle. How are they not capitalizing off of these fights now being 11-4?
I think there's just such amazing coordination and sort of map flow control by the world team. You've seen this game was, it's now 4-11. It was, I believe, 3-9. And with that, they shoved mid because they got one choice kill and turned that into a lot of pressure. But it was a great counter push to happen by Riot. But the thing is, they were on their own side of the map. They were far back. They could not turn that around into some pressure. What they need is a kill on even ground so they can shove that as an advantage and keep that momentum.
So taking out the more formidable opponent, taking out the Mordekaiser, somebody else that's really dominating everybody is going to allow them to push those turrets.
Yeah, they need to build a numbers advantage, and they need to build it somewhere where they can actually turn that into a kill. MakNooN now being forced to run away. Nice little try in the juke there. Can Kennen land that stun? Yes, he will stun up Master Yi. The flash comes off. He is not in range for the spells, though. And Nautilus will not capitalize onto MakNooN here. Master Yi able to run away from that one. A great job there. His ultimate, giving him bonus movement speed, allowed him to escape. But they found Mordekaiser once more. The amount of damage is massive, and they have picked up another kill. Their second in a row on the Mordekaiser. And they're going again now onto Lux. Jat on Nautilus, so tanky, just does not care. And now will land the ultimate. Snoopeh will go down. Team Riot picking up their 13th kill of this match. And they're looking really great right now.
And this is the one they really needed. The Mordekaiser down, the Karthus down for the AoE wave clearing. They're probably going to be able to take this first turret. 20 minutes now into this game. We have seen one dragon objective go down. Baron could be as well. MakNooN gets a slicing maelstrom from Milk Cow. Can he get the last attack? No! He makes it out, but the Golem's going to take him out. And Static picking up the last kill. An amazing flash play.
Nice jump by him. You can see this mid lane now being pressured. They got a lot of kills in a row, ones they needed, and they're near this mid lane. And you can see Team Riot jumping in here, doing as much damage as possible, and diving for the kill instead of for the turret. They picked up Lulu, but Roku not in a good way, being hit pretty hard by these spells from Mordekaiser, and he's trying to survive that ultimate. His health is ticking down. Oh no, this could be ugly. That Karthus ultimate will pick up that kill. Roku has fallen. Classic not in good place either, but they got 2 kills for that dive. They picked up Mordekaiser as well. So an excellent job by Team Riot, and again, now pressing for this turret. They may stop the dive again, but I think they've actually said, no, this turret kills what we want. They will try to make that happen, but of course they still can't because the ability to clear minions out from the World Team has again stopped that push.
Yeah, and that's something they really have to be careful of. It looks like they had that fight completely in the bag, but at such a short a time into the game, just about cresting mid-game, these spawn times are not that long. Karthus was able to come back up very early and throw down that Requiem and change the fight right away. Yeah, it forced Team Riot to retreat back. They could not stick on that turret as long as they wanted to. The minions eventually fell as well. They were not able to pick up that kill. We see chat on Nautilus still taking his own Lizard buff. He's actually not donated that in quite some time. Actually, sorry, ever this game. And I don't know if he will anytime soon or if he wants that buff to make his own gank stronger. But we see that classic there on Corki with a whole suite of items, and he's got the golem buff and actually some more pressure coming on here. Master Yi being slowed down quite significantly there by that Nautilus just being forced away, but he will be shoving this top lane for now. And it looks like Lulu falling a little behind, is forced to farm behind that second turret since Corki did take it down early. Classic was very aggressive in lane. 163 minions now to about 115 from Lulu. So there was a lot of gold accrued there by Corki that Lulu is not outputting in damage as well since she's not in lane to grab it. Yeah, we can see though Kennen coming around to try to find Master Yi. Will land a Thundering Shuriken. Needs to land 2 more spells to trigger a stun. And looks like the just movement has made that happen. Classic though has picked up that kill as Corki. Sorry we missed that kill for you guys, but they're now up 17-5. And they've been roaming inside the World Team's jungle. Static on Leona has been carrying an Oracles the entire game. She has not died, and that has allowed them to sweep away wards and play aggressively without being spotted. You can see there just some more aggression. They're trying to pick up even more kills here. This Mordekaiser not in the best of places right now. Could get jumped on, and indeed will take a whole heck of a lot of damage. The ultimate coming out from Leona. Can they pick up this kill before Roku falls? He's trying to escape. No, that will be 1 kill, but they will trade back on the Mordekaiser. Another one falls as Kennen drops down, and now Jat as well. A 3-for-1 is happening here for the World Team, and MakNooN will try to chase down his ultimate being triggered, chasing Static as fast as possible, and the slow comes out as well. He is not liking this, taking more and more damage. They will dive for the 4th. Nice job by the World Team, now 9-18, and now only Corki is alive for Team Riot. Yeah, they are pinging them back, and it looks like they may try to cycle out on doing some damage unless they're just going for top waves. We do have a ping down, but nobody else is spawning. I'm going to go ahead and say these are MakNoon's pings. Yeah, saying, guys, let's get back. I want to grab some jungle monsters. I want some gold. Thank you very much. We picked up a bunch of kills, but we don't have enough damage and durability to quite kill Baron Nashor or to convert this into a turret push, so he's going to back off, just go for some gold or income right here. You can see him picking up those jungle monsters, those golems, and now going for these minions here, picking up these purple caster minions and just earning so much gold. You can see it tick up with each of those kills, and he's just going to get richer and richer in scale throughout this game. Now 25 minutes just about into this game, 18-9, but the World Team is not letting Riot beat down the turrets. They're doing a great job at turtling that defense, keeping themselves where they need to be in lane, and really just pushing the lanes accordingly. As the World Team keeps themselves in this one, they are quite far behind. Yep, and that positioning has allowed them to get that turret kill, 2-2 right now. Oh wow, Static knows about that golem buff attempt. Snoopeh will have to run away from that one. Team Riot may come to collapse and try to steal this buff away. No, they will leave it up, and instead, looks like the pressure's going to be on for this dragon. The World Team is none the wiser. They will get this for themselves. Looks like this dragon is going to be taken. They're pinging middle. They're saying, we're not there to help you. Don't do anything dangerous. We don't need to take dragon and lose people and just negate the money we're getting. They're going to go ahead and grab that global gold. That's really going to help them. We'll see dragon at 3140. 6 minute spawns on that, so you'll see a lot of movement for that or Baron objective in the next 6 minutes. Yeah, it's absolutely the time of game where teams will try to kill Baron Nashor. That spawns in the top left corner of the map, and when that thing dies, your entire team gains a whole bunch of gold, a bunch of experience, and you all get a buff that gives you bonus regeneration and a whole heck of a lot more damage. When you kill that thing, you are a force to be reckoned with. Forget all the old gold, forget all the old kills. If you kill Baron, you're in some great shape. Looks like they are formulating a bit middle here, Corky. And it's going to be Classic and MakNooN up top, kind of throwing back and forth. MakNooN is putting on a little bit of pressure, but he's back and forth with that, as he does think that the Riot team is coming up to party with him on this one. MakNooN hauling it out of there, and he will be able to make it out unless Static can get the ultimate down, but I don't think anybody's going to be in range to help him. They're going to go ahead and back off on this one, but everybody's now formulating for Baron. The Baron dance is about to begin, Freak. What goes on during this?
All right, so you're going to see that Team Riot needs to play this one very, very well because they've got Baron fighting them. That makes this next fight very, very difficult. The World Team, however, do not have their fifth. Lulu is not around, so pretend it's a 5 versus 5. You can see Team Riot, though, losing health, and now they've gotten caught. They're going to have to initiate here and get some pain off. They found Snoopeh. Snoopeh will go down first. However, they've been rooted in range of his corpse, and looks like Milk Cow would be dropping down. That is a dead cannon. Now it's a 4 versus 4. Baron, though, still active. What? Dropping one. Mordekaiser getting one as well. This could be an ace in very short order. Roku about to fall down, and looks like that is an ace being picked up. Team Riot not in a good place there. The World Team picking up 5 in a row, only having lost 1, and now they are the ones to pick up Baron Nashor with no competition to stop them. It will be theirs.
Now, Freak, what is the importance of picking up this objective? Yeah, they're going to be able to take that, and the game's not over, but what does this give them as an advantage in the movement of the game, coming in now almost 30 minutes in?
It's a lot of momentum. Of course, it was just preceded by a 5-kill streak, so they've actually equalized the gold. Riot was winning the entire game. Now we're back to even, but even isn't quite even right now because, as I said, this buff is massive. It's damage and regeneration all across the board, although I don't think Snoopeh actually got it. He was still dead when that died, but still, 4 out of the 5, very, very deadly champions. So normally they'd be on equal footing, but they're super powered right now. So this is uneven footing. The World Team are in great shape, and you can see them just running across the map, trying to take away these objectives and control the entire map.
Finding MakNooN in the jungle. Classic was legendary on last fight, so he is really built for this fight. Huge burst coming down, and they're able to take out MakNooN, the huge fighter that really turned the Baron fight around just now, and that is big. Being able to take down the team one by one and get that Baron buff off the map.
Yep, and that's actually a very big deal. They've dropped down MakNooN, and even against Baron buff, a 5 versus 4 is great. They've got 30 seconds. On the left-hand side, you can see that number ticking down. That is the time until Master Yi respawns. Until that point, it's a power play for Team Riot. They've picked up 1 turret. They've still got some minions here, although they will get dropped by Lux. They will have to back off for a short time, and this is time that the World Team wants. They're actually going to run across the map. They might go for something else. They've pinged now the Elder Lizard camp. They're going to grab this red buff. Again, it's a slow and a damage over time that will be given to Corky here, played by Classic. He will clean that up. That'll be some nice gold for him. And the Dragon, you said, is respawning pretty soon as well, so that might be the next big point of contention.
Dragon will be up quite quickly, and with Baron being off the map, the objectives kind of switch. People can go bottom lane without being with being cautious, as the other lanes can be pushed, but they don't have to worry about as much as teleporting top or having to leave the lane to help their team. You get your farm on, get a little bit of gold in, some more items are going to help you as well as your team, and really get back into the game. As Freak said, that Baron really hurt last fight and could have brought the World Team back up to even. We'll have to see, as both teams have been taking down turrets. Riot was just able to come up with a second turret in middle, so this game is still anybody's match.
And it's absolutely, you can see the pressure though with this bottom lane. Very great from the World Team. Lulu putting on shields for herself makes her very hard to catch, but it looks like they're going to go in for some pressure here. They think they have an advantage. They're trying to catch up. Oh, an amazing slow being landed. And Lux also with Lucy's Singularity going to make one happen, but they're going to jump in onto Elementz. The ultimate goes off. Elementz trying to run away. Snoopeh coming by as well. Jat will flash over. They will catch for this one. The stun goes off. They pick up 1 kill. A 5 versus 4 is happening right now, but Static must flash away, and the teleport comes off, and that might be 2 kills picked up. Trevor falls down. That is a kill onto Corky. Jat not in good shape either. Drops down. A double kill. And now 2 more kills might be happening here. Master Yi chopping them up. A 4-kill streak has been grabbed. They only lost that Karthus. The ability to turn around here from the World Team is absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, they really orchestrated that very well. Baron buff still on 3 of the members here as they move in, and having Corky under Mordekaiser's wing is pretty painful.
I like the wing Corky joke, by the way. Might not have been on purpose, but I can appreciate the pun regardless. They're moving in towards the inhibitor, and the World Team with such a fast turnaround are now convincingly in the driver's seat of this game. That inhibitor has fallen. That bottom lane will be a constant source of pressure against Team Riot. Now it's timed pretty well. Baron will not respawn for at least 3 more minutes, so they've got a bit of a breather where they can sit, and Team Riot could farm that bottom lane. They can kind of just sit there and hold on, and they'll be okay. However, the World Team knows that that bottom lane is going to be a big source of energy and just conscious effort here from Team Riot, so they can take the rest of the map themselves. They can push these top turrets, they can push mid some more if they want. They've got reign over this map.
Yeah, it's almost 4,000 gold lead now to the World Team, which has always been in favor up until this 32nd minute of the game, as these last few Barons and team fights has put World in the driver's seat, as you said, Freak. They're continuously going strong. MakNooN running around, doesn't have vision of the rest of the team, but he's trying to get away from these 4 right now, and it looks like he's going to go straight through the base, dodging through. The inhibitor bottom is down with the turret, so he's going to be able to make his way there, and most likely go help his team with Dragon after farming this bottom lane.
Yep, he's made it out successfully. That ultimate Highlander makes him immune to slows and makes him run so incredibly fast. He escaped that team, and here is the World Team getting their Dragon, as you said. Just a very, very easy one, and he escapes there. That pressure from Team Riot. He's going to recall back from this brush here, and he's just having a great game. Master Yi, very hard to navigate in these fights, but he is 7-3 right now. He has navigated those stuns, all of that crowd control, and he's been fine.
And Master Yi becoming even scarier. MakNooN buying a 3rd Phantom Dancer, just putting that in his inventory. 7-3, almost 300 CS in the game, is absolutely melting people in fights, and you can see the speed he moves at, combined with the speed of his ultimate, makes him pretty much unstoppable at this point.
Yeah, he's got a nice amount of attack damage. He gets a bunch of it from his E ability. That's called Wuju's style. Gets 35 damage passively, can activate it to double that to 70. You add that to his Wriggle's Lantern and the Doran's Blade, to his runes, and then you just stack Phantom Dancers that give you the chance to critically strike. A critical strike makes you deal double damage. You can see those red numbers on screen, 400 damage to each one. That's what this means, and it's, again, history repeating itself, but can they do enough damage? He's unable to be slowed. The stuns are not going to stack up here. He is still running away, and he has made it out. The dance comes in. Roku not in range, cannot get that knockup. Again, the dance coming out from MakNooN, and he has made it out there.
You know, and MakNooN is doing very big things there. Not only is he getting away, but he's causing the Riot team to use some of their ultimates. Those cooldowns don't come up for another minute or so the World Team is more than happy to engage in a fight now.
Yeah, this is actually a really, really good time for the World Team to pressure. Baron will not be up yet, but they can still take the gold advantage they have and make it some kills. You can see right there MakNooN just taking. They just die so fast. He's just killing everything on the map. He's crushing through. His basic attack speed now is phenomenally quick. You can see him swinging there more than twice per second. And he just is so mobile. He's just making it an incredible headache for Team Riot. And that bottom lane still has the inhibitor down. So they still have to worry about that bottom lane, worry about MakNooN at the top. And then they have the rest of those 4 champions from the World Team who's wreaking havoc everywhere else. And wreaking havoc they are doing. They are going now for this Baron. And if they leave MakNooN alone, they're going to lose their base.
It looks like Elementz does have that Oracle, so he's going to be able to clear it out. Will they go back in? A very nice snare from the other side of the Baron den. And it looks like they're going to get MakNooN inside here. Will they have 3 and enough to take him? That is not going to pop him up. Slicing mouse from over. Yes, it does. They take down MakNooN. Do they have enough to win the fight? Snoopeh is absolutely defiling everyone right now as the outside World Team is trying to poke in from that left wing of the fight here. They're finding him around side red. Milk Cow trying to E out of this one. Takes Mordekaiser's ultimate. It looks like that could go down in this fight. Monkey King ultimate going out from Roku as they are forcing World Team to disperse. A very nice job by Mistake. Classic was left alone to defend. Roku coming up with a kill, but can he take on the 2v1 situation? Milk Cow coming around to help. So much burst from Mistake. Will he be able to do it in one more? Oh, it's the Siege minion that helps him get the kill. And Mistake coming up with a kill on Milk Cow.
And Roku gonna have to get back to his base as soon as possible. Those minions from that bottom lane are just pushing through and dealing all kinds of damage. And now this middle turret being pressured here. Mistake is doing a whole lot. Roku going in, does pick up the kill on the Elementz, but will trade back. And now Mistake, the last man standing on his team, will kill this middle inhibitor. And his minions are doing work inside Team Riot's base. You can see these turrets about to fall down below half health. 2 inhibitors now gone. Actually, no, the bottom inhibitor had respawned, and MakNooN teleporting back to top lane, going for another turret kill, and they might collapse onto this Nexus before too long.
This is going to be tough here. They are super minions in the base. Minions are only spawning from the Nexus every 30 seconds. So if it's not in the between, if it's not one of those 30 seconds, you're the one that has to clear the minions, and you're not using your abilities on the opposing team. So it looks like the Riot team needs to get this base cleared, prepare themselves for a fight. The depth charge goes out, but it's going to be so far out. Can they catch him? MakNooN getting popped up. Oh, ticked around with the anchor on him. Will they be able to take him down? And they finally do as the wall of pain goes out. They will not be able to catch Snoopeh, most likely. It is going to be a hit from Milk Cow, but I do not believe he is carrying a Rylas. No, he is not. Nice grab coming out of the hands of Jat, and they do find another kill. Freak, this is helping them little by little. If they can continue to do this, they might be able to pull it back into their favor for a good push down mid lane.
Yeah, though there will be a kill picked up there, back on to support the Leona, but they're going to jump in now, doing some great damage to Mistake here. Lulu taking a bunch of pain, and actually so is Mordecai, so they can take easier of these kills for themselves. Roku jumping in, going for the pain. They will, oh my gosh, he's taking them with Spell Vamp. Finally makes it out of that one. Nautilus still trying to lock that one up. Elementz lands some crowd control, but not enough in time. And Team Riot are actually taking turns, sending one of their champions back to their base to farm these ceaseless minion waves. But this is, I think, the best chance that Riot has right now. Ther and Nashor will not be respawning for a very, very long time. It's a 7-minute respawn timer, and very soon after that died, they did go for those inhibitor kills. Now, inhibitors, they take 5 minutes to respawn. And over those 5 minutes, minions will continue to pour into Team Riot's base. But those minions are a source of gold and experience, and so they will constantly empower themselves and get beefier and beefier as time goes on. And there's no gigantic major objectives that the world team even needs. And so if they wait out those 5 minutes, they're giving themselves a disadvantage. What they want to do is what MakNoon's doing here, is push, 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 and look at him baiting everyone around, trying to make it happen for him, trying to run away, but no, will get picked up. He wanted to get a turret kill for himself. He wanted to bait the team and burn their cooldowns, but he couldn't quite do it.
Yeah, MakNooN trying to taunt it out as well as put his famous dance in there, but he wasn't able to get it off. Quickly take him down to that depth charge, and Corki able to get in there as well. Classic doing so much damage right now. And it's interesting to see Classic not going for that early Infinity Edge. He does have the Triforce Burst, but Lulu just able to come up with so much damage now from her build. Corki kind of falling off unless he can get the Gatling to shred the armor.
Yeah, they really want to fight a dedicated 5-on-5 sort of slugfest. That is still the type of fight that Team Riot wants. They are area of effect focused. They can hit everyone at once. Now, they've done well in these smaller skirmishes because they have lockdown. The problem is it takes some very large cooldowns to do so, ones that are better used in these 5-on-5 engagements. Now, this might be what they see in the very near future. The world team knows they're on a bit of a clock here, and so they do want to come in for the pressure, and that is what they're going to go for. There is no inhibitor to stop them. They will have ceaseless waves of minions come in to make this happen. Mistake doing a great job of harassing, and here comes what could be a very, very deciding fight.
Here we go. They could be for a final push here. The world team is just sitting on the outer edges of the Riot team's base, trying to make it in here to get some burst damage down. Good poke from Classic. They can afford to use those mana spells right now, knowing that they have that ability to go back to Fountain. MakNooN making his way in for possibly one final push with his team. They gather together towards the top side of the base. Who will be the first to initiate? MakNooN sees the snare, but he does not want to go in on that just yet. They're waiting for the minions to do more damage to the turret, waiting to expose that Nexus before raining down on the Riot team. But does the Riot team have something under their belt here? Are they waiting for a trick up their sleeve? Static can initiate from a very long range. Nautilus from a very long range. Will they be able to pick off one of these?
And they're going in now. Mordecai's having to flash away. Roku knocking up everybody. Snoopeh might fall down to this cannon, and that will be one kill picked up. And now it's Mistake taking a lot of pain. Can they pick up more? Luxlow goes off. There's 2 kills. Corki has fallen though. Master Yi with a double kill in the back lines. Now can they pick up enough kills? Oh, he's been stunned out, but he's going to jump in, and he picks up a 3rd. And Misaya has picked up the kill as Mordekaiser, and he has not fallen. They have aced Team Riot, and they will now move on and pick up the Nexus with a 2-0 victory, the world team.
An absolutely amazing game. We did see Riot coming out on top there. A very aggressive early game, but the late game Team Comp Freak just going to the world team so much stronger. And that MakNooN almost with a fourth Phantom Dancer.
Yeah, that was phenomenal. And it was that one game-changing fight, that Baron attempt. And I want to say it was the right call. That Lulu mistake, he was at the bottom lane. He was all the way across the map. Team Riot said, we have a kill lead, we have a gold lead, we are winning this game. It's a 5 versus 4. Let's go Baron. They got it low, but the initiation, the baiting, they kind of just spread everyone out. The world team made that fight just their own. They bought up enough time for Lulu to come back in, and they took out a full ace. They killed all 5 members of Team Riot. They only lost 1. And then they went and killed Baron. And with that gigantic advantage, they equalized the gold, and they said, let's take over the map. They took out inhibitors, they took out turrets, and that's what closed them the game.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, and that's going to do it for us tonight. Thanks for joining us for the first ever Riot Games World Invitational.
And stay tuned for more information about the League of Legends Season 2 World Championship.
Good night from Las Vegas.
It's the biggest League of Legends event yet.
The best players from around the globe are competing for the biggest prize pool in the history of esports.
Announcing the Season 2 World Championship.
Riot and the entire League of Legends community have been watching Season 2 unfold, and the competition has been fierce. Early leaders like SK Gaming, CLG, TSM, and Dignitas quickly emerged, but upstarts such as MIG, World Elite, and Moscow 5 have exploded onto the scene.
I wanted to make a statement to players around the world when we committed to a multi-million-dollar prize pool. League of Legends will be an esports leader for years to come. So far, we've awarded over $1 million in prize money to teams around the globe. And one of those teams is going to walk away with the grand prize. We can't wait to see how many summoners watch the rest of this season's events. Just halfway through the season, more people are watching League of Legends than tune in to watch Major League Baseball games on ESPN.
The regional finals will come to you live from around the world. We kick off in mainland China at ChinaJoy in July, followed by Europe at Gamescom in August, North America at PAX Prime in September, Southeast Asia, Singapore and Taiwan, and wrapping up in Korea at the OnGameNet Esports Stadium. After the regional winners have been declared, the top 12 teams will then put it all on the line during the Season 2 World Championship in Los Angeles, California.
We want to show our players and the world that Riot Games is committed to elevating esports. And that's why we are raising the bar to where it belongs. This is not going to be your typical esport event. And it's all in support of the insane competition between the 2 best teams on the planet.
The Season 2 World Championship. Tickets go on sale this summer.